You ever had one of those moments when someone says something to you that just hits you right in the gut and they might not even realize how deep it lands, but you feel it? That happened to me recently. Someone told me, or rather accused me, of being inauthentic and self serving and said I wasn't showing up for my community and that I was only asking others to show up for me. And in the past, that kind of comment would have really thrown me and it would have sent me kind of spiraling down, questioning if I was doing something wrong, if I was being too much, being too big, and if I was out of alignment with my mission. It would have really made me want to shrink. But this time, something was different. In this episode, I'm going to share with you what I learned through this experience and how owning my power and having the self-confidence really helped me to shift what could have been something very detrimental for myself into something that felt more empowering. And at the end, I will leave you with my thoughtful 3 reflection questions to help you when you are in a situation like this. After a lifetime of always prioritizing everyone else's needs over your own, do you feel like you don't know who you are anymore? Maybe you're moving into a new phase of life, or you're going through a life transition and you're saying to yourself, I'm lost, or who am I? You might be feeling exhausted, overwhelmed, and yet you still want to make the world a better place. You are not alone. It's time to prioritize yourself and power your mission. It's time to love your life on purpose. I'm Michelle Vandehay, a conscious leadership and embodiment coach, speaker, author, and advocate, helping caregivers, changemakers, and mission-driven leaders reclaim their energy, their voice, and their authentic power without sacrificing their well-being, creating more impact without burning out. Let's explore who you are and rediscover who you want to become because you are worth it. So recently, I had someone accusing me of being inauthentic in my way that I was asking people to support me because they felt that I was not supporting my quote unquote community. And in that initial message, I could feel my body responding first, the tightening in my chest, the heat rising in my body, and the old urge to feel like I needed to explain myself and defend my worth. But instead of reacting, I was able to pause, luckily, because it was a message that I could read and respond to as opposed to read and react to. I took some time to do a little self-reflection. Then I remembered this isn't about them, it's about me. And owning who I am and what I know to be true. Because here's the thing, when you start owning your power, when you start shining from a place of confidence and self-trust, not everyone will understand it. Some people will feel uncomfortable. Some will project their own insecurities onto you. And that's okay, even though it doesn't feel okay. The work isn't about convincing others of your worth. It's about remembering it for yourself. In that moment, I realized how far I had come because the old me would have collapsed. I would have internalized that criticism and made it proof that I wasn't doing enough or being enough. And I would have probably spent a lot more time defending myself and also being overly critical of this person. Instead, I was asking questions and I was being curious, and I was lucky enough that this was via text and not a verbal confrontation, because I was able to also just like burn off some steam by saying things out loud that I had no intention of sending. But here's a message that I want you to hear, that being in service doesn't mean you have to be continually self-sacrificing. Being connected to your community doesn't mean abandoning yourself. In fact, the more anchored you are in your power, in your truth, and in your own worth, the more authentic and sustainable your service becomes. The more sustainable your mission becomes. And that's what it means to lead from the inside out. That's what it means to embody confidence. Not the kind that's loud or performative, but the kind that's rooted, grounded, and true. And that's why I love to facilitate trauma sensitive yoga and help folks come back to their bodies. And not only come back to their bodies, but also notice things in their bodies and making choices about what they want to do with what they are noticing. Because so often we are taught to A, ignore our bodies, and B, if we're noticing it, to just push it away and ignore ourselves. And when we're doing that, it breaks down our self-worth, it breaks down our self-confidence. And when we have that practice of doing it with our bodies, because oftentimes our bodies are speaking to us first before anything else, it's up to us to, first of all, notice it, because oftentimes we've ignored it for so long that we don't notice it anymore. And then, second of all, it's up to us to then decide what we want to do with that information, as opposed to feel like there's something we should or shouldn't do with that information. Because we can't think our way into confidence, we have to feel it. We have to reconnect to our bodies, that wisdom that's always there for us, waiting to guide us. Through trauma sensitive yoga and mindfulness, and through slowing down enough to listen, we begin to rebuild that inner trust. We remember what safety feels like within ourselves. And when we trust ourselves, other people's judgments lose their power over us. And that is powerful. Now, if you're ready to start reconnecting with yourself, to feel that inner light again and rebuild your confidence from the inside out, I created something just for you. It's called the 7 Days to Reignite Your Inner Light Challenge. It's simple, powerful practices that help you to feel grounded, clear, and connected again, so you can lead and live from your fullest self. You can join for free by using the link in the show notes. It's a beautiful way to start this journey, or to reset if you've been feeling dimmed a lot lately. So if you've ever been called selfish for setting boundaries, or being told you're too much for shining your light, or maybe you feel guilty for saying yes to yourself, I want you to know that's not selfish. That is taking care of yourself. You are allowed to take up space. You are allowed to honor your needs. You are allowed to own your power without apology. Because when you do, you give others the permission to do the same. And that's how we create harmony, not balance, not perfection, but harmony between who we are and how we serve. And if you're looking for a space where you can be surrounded by other heart-centered leaders who are on the same journey, join me in my Facebook group called Love Your Life on Purpose. It's where I share resources, reflections, and encouragement for changemakers like you who are learning to honor themselves as much as their mission. You can find the link in the show notes. I'd love to see you there. Before we get to the Thoughtful 3, as always, if this message resonated with you, feel free to subscribe for more videos about burnout and rediscovering who you are outside of what you do. You're welcome to like this video. And then if you thought of someone while you were listening to this podcast or watching this on YouTube, please share it with that person and say you thought of them, because they need this message too. The Thoughtful 3 reflective questions. Number 1, when was the last time you felt the urge to shrink or apologize for your power, for showing up, for shining your light? Number 2, what would it look like to respond instead of react in that kind of moment? And number 3, what helps you reconnect to your inner sense of worth when others don't see it? Take some time to reflect on these questions. You're welcome to send me your answers, connect with me, or answer these questions in the community, Love Your Life on Purpose. As always, remember to prioritize yourself and power your mission, because you are worth it.